Congratulations! I just want to say congratulations for taking the next step into your health. Now, really, I just want to say thank you because it means a lot because my purpose is just to serve more people. And I feel as a dietitian, I have a ton of knowledge that I just need to shed with everyone else. And why not just make a book out of it? So congratulations on taking the next step and investing in yourself and having more knowledge. But please, don't use my book as any other book. Don't see it as something else, as another book, another website, another article that you read but don't apply. Okay, there's this verbiage that says knowledge is power, but that's incorrect. It's actually the applied knowledge that gives that knowledge power. So whatever you learn from my book, please apply it. I made it very, very simple so then you can apply it to your life. Okay, so then you can make it part of your new lifestyle. Because let's be honest, where you are today is the exact reason of all the habits and all the things you've built up that you got used to over the years, and now it's time to break it. Okay, because I'm sure right now if you're watching and going to read my video, or my book, it's because you want to change and you're tired of just being the same person. Okay, and just know that wherever you are right now can be broken. It's just a matter of habits that you developed compounded over time. But now the only way to break a bad habit is to replace it with a new one and a better one. So that's where I am today. That's where I want to go in depth with my book and tell you, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm sure you hear that all the time, and especially in your head, you tell yourself all the time, you know exactly what to do, but what if I told you a few simple hows to do? Okay, so when it comes to portion control, we all know that portion control is one of the things we should do, but we don't do. And I admit, even myself, it's hard to do when you go out to eat, when you go to parties, when you go to special events. There's a lot of food, and what are you gonna do? You have a choice to make. You have a discipline that you have to adapt, but just remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you practice on it, the easier it's gonna get. Okay, but the hard part is just getting it started. And that's where I am here today for you. So I'm gonna go over my book and I'm gonna tell you the secrets that have helped a lot of my friends, family, clients, help them change their lifestyle and to get better in their health so they can be the better person. Because why else do we eat healthy anyways? Why else do we work out, right? Why do we have our own health goals? It's because we want to be a better person for everywhere else. So, 5 tips to portion control. Tip number 1, use smaller plates. Okay, I'm not talking about these type of plates. Wherever you go, those big chain restaurants, they like to serve plates that are this big, and that doesn't make sense because how does it fit into your body, right? So we live in an age where people love food, people love to eat, but we don't know when to stop to eat. Okay, so when it comes to having smaller plates, let's start from home. Okay, a lot of us eat from home, and the great thing about eating at home is that you know exactly what's in your food, especially if you make your food, right? So also at being at home, we all have plates, we all have bowls, but how big are they? I promise you, if you cut your portion by half at home, you're gonna see huge, huge differences in your health. How about this? I want you to take it to the next level. Instead of eating just smaller plates at home, take all the plates you already have at home and replace it with smaller plates. Hide the old plates, throw them away, do what you need to do, but make that commitment. Okay, do it for 21 days and see what happens. I promise you, things are going to change. And I promise you, when you eat smaller portions, you're going to realize, I realized I didn't need that much food anyways. And remember, your stomach is like a giant rubber band. Okay, it's like a giant balloon. The more food you feed it, the more it's going to expand, but it's going to be stretched out for a little bit of time. So if you eat, you're gonna need that much food to fill up that empty space because you stretch that stomach far enough. But again, it's a habit, so now it's time to shrink it down little by little so then it takes less food for you to feel full. Okay, that's why buffets are so dangerous because we feel like we have the urge to make the most out of our money, so we eat as much as we can in a short amount of time. Avoid the buffets, okay? So when you're eating at home, eat smaller meals and go by the 15-minute rule. It takes 15 minutes for your stomach, everything in your stomach, to register to your brain to tell you, hey, stop. I'm full. Stop feeding me. So when you eat smaller plates, yes, you will spend more time eating, but at the same time, that 15-minute rule is going to apply. And by the time you're done with your first meal, or your first plate, that is, you're going to realize, hey, you know, I don't really need that much food. I think I'm okay. I'm full. At least you're going to be satiated, meaning that you won't need extra food. You might want extra food just because of habit, but you won't need extra food. So that's tip number one, smaller plates. Tip number two is share your dishes. My girlfriend and I, Emily, we do this all the time, especially when we go out to eat. We already know, well, I know that all the portions in the world today is more than what we need, and I don't feel good eating that much food. Okay, Emily and I, we love to share breakfast together, and when it comes to pancakes, waffles, those type of foods are pretty heavy. Or even lunchtime, we like to share hamburgers too. Those type of foods, it can be heavy especially if you're gonna have fries or any like a salad with it. You know, you're stretching out your stomach again. If you stretch your stomach, you're feeding more than what you really need. And what I found is when I eat too much, I just get tired and I get lazy. And that's not how I like to perform throughout my day. Okay, eating may be fun, but the after effect, being lazy, not wanting to do anything, and really not being productive, I don't like it. Okay, and I hope you don't like it either. Because if you're trying to get enough energy or trying to lose weight so you can feel good and perform better at work so you can get that promotion, or you're trying to get more energy or trying to get rid of that joint pain that you've been having so you can have that extra time and extra energy so you can run around with your kids. You know, these are the type of things that's our goal, right? That's our end goal. Right? It may not look like it when you're eating a salad, but again, think of the long-term outcome. What are you going to get from it? Right? It's the simple daily little habits that you're going to develop over time, and that little disciplines that will lead you to that healthy lifestyle that you do want, that you do deserve. Okay, so when I share dishes with Emily, it's funny because usually afterwards, we always ask each other, hey honey, are you full? Or hey honey, are you still hungry? And it's always, no, I'm pretty good. And that pretty good trickles on for hours after that because we're not tired. We still feel good. We got the food and the taste that we wanted from our breakfast, and we have enough energy to go on throughout the day. So don't do that to your day. Make the most out of your day, okay? So the next tip I want to share you is tip number 3, and that's dining out. Okay, I get it. I have friends that say, Quang, what do? I don't cook. Okay, I go out to eat. I buy all my food. Well, that's perfectly fine. And these are the tips that I'm telling you about. So tip number 3, when you're dining out, ask for a to-go box right away. Okay, this is the challenge because it may look weird, it may look weird, it may feel weird. You know, you might get a weird look, but right after you order your food or right when you receive your food, ask for a to-go box. Because the whole point of it is out of sight, out of mind. Okay, you can't eat something that you can't see. And the great thing is that when you're boxing up your food, you're automatically packing your lunch for the next day, right? So not only is it great for your caloric intake, but also it's financially beneficial, and you know, you're saving yourself energy and just time of just figuring out what to eat for the next day. it's really great. I mean, some things work really well, like spaghetti. We all know that spaghetti tastes way better the next day. Okay, and oh my gosh, spaghetti never comes in a small plate. I can go on for days with that, but spaghetti you can you can share that with like 4 people within just one plate. So when you're dining out, you can ask for a to-go box right away, or you can ask for a separate plate so you can share that dish, or you can ask for smaller portions, right? They do have those options. You just have to ask for it. And the last, oh sorry, not the last, but the fourth tip I want to give you is kids menu. How funny is it that we're adults but we still feel like we have to eat like an adult? Okay, that got us nowhere. We know what happened when we eat like an adult. Have you ever tried eating like a child? And I'm not talking about baby food, I'm talking about portion size wise. A lot of places do offer kids menus, and if you eat that, guaranteed you're gonna eat 50% less calories than you will compared to an adult meal. And but be careful, I have to warn you, some places when they have kids menus, yes, it may be a better value sometimes. It may be calorically or, um, or less fattening, but the menu isn't always as healthy as we think. Okay, it might not come with a salad. It might just come with fries and a burger or something. So just be careful of that. Not all kids menus are made equally. And on the flip side of that, who knows, you might get some cool toys or a crayon, right? Or coloring book. Those are always really fun. And if there's no kids menu, I'm sure there's some sort of value menu you can also order. Okay, yes, it may be a good deal. Just be careful if it's a good, nutritious meal. I hate promoting food in terms of just eating for the fact of eating, okay? That's not the purpose of food. The purpose of food is not to get full, it's to nourish our bodies. And we've gotten to a point where we're overfed and undernourished. That's why we're all getting sick. So we have to take a couple steps back and see, hey, what are we doing here? Okay, what adjustments can I make? Because let's face it, we're not getting any healthier. And so that's tip number 4. The last tip I want to share with you is pre-portion bags and containers. So this is great. We see a lot of meal prepping, a lot of videos of people just, cooking food in bulk and then portioning out in containers. All right, this is a great idea because you're controlling how much you're eating. And with that, it's amazing because you know exactly what's going. It's just like when you're cooking, you know exactly what's going in your food. So just by pre-portioning bags or containers, you know exactly how much you're supposed to eat. And by doing that, you're really restricting yourself on, okay, I need to eat this much and I don't have any choice but to eat anything else because I don't, that's all I packed. Okay, but if we have something that's, like a buffet, or if somebody from work brings food, our tendency is just to try to eat as much as we can. So when it comes to pre-portioned bags and containers, there's a couple tips in that. Okay, pre-portioned bags. I love this because I do this myself. I love eating snacks. But be careful because sometimes we don't know how to stop, right? So what happens when you don't plan for it, right? The whole portion of pre-portioning everything is having a plan ahead of time. I always say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, so it does take some energy beforehand to kind of set the schedule out. But when it comes to pre-portioning everything, it's great because we all know we should eat a little bit more frequent meals, but smaller, right? More like small snacks or smaller meals. And when it comes to that, Ziploc bags, not these size bags, but the one that are half size, okay, the smaller ones. Use that as your snack bag. If you don't plan ahead of time, what's gonna happen when you get hungry? Like, the first thing you're gonna do is look for the first edible thing, right? And hopefully it's not candy, hopefully it's not chips. And if it's something like me in the past, if it's a giant barrel of pretzels, you're just gonna dig in. And what do we do when we snack? Okay, when we snack, we don't pay attention. Most likely you're doing something else. So you're not even thinking of when to stop. So if you're putting a hand into a giant bag or into a giant barrel of pretzels, you're not gonna know when to stop. So if you have a bag that's already portioned out, because you planned ahead of time, and you finish that bag, then you're gonna think, oh my gosh, I finished that bag. Okay, I'm done eating. And that's the thing we need to do, because we all know potato chips, it comes in all sorts of sizes, all right? And I've been through this. I can finish a whole bag in one sitting. But in our mind, we're thinking, oh, okay, is this one portion, right? One bag is one portion. I can eat that in one sitting. So if you do that in a smaller bag, you're still going to think psychologically, I'm finishing a whole bag. And I have to tell you, there's big changes coming up with the food labels. Okay, the USDA is changing quite a few things on the food label, and some are good, some are a little bit, and one thing is that the serving size. Okay, this is something to be mindful of. They're not going to make these changes until next year in 2018. But just be careful, because now they're saying that for one portion is going to equal however many, whatever the food content is, it takes to finish it. So for example, a can of soup. Okay, a can of soup, the generic ones, those are typically 2 portions or 2 servings. Okay, so the nutrition label, they'll break that down into 2 servings. So if it's 150 calories for one serving, in that can, it's going to be 300 calories. But here's the thing, the new changes to make it more relatable and more applicable to today's age, they're going to change that one can into 1 serving instead of 2, meaning that you're going to get a lot more calories, a lot more sodium, right? A lot more nutritional ingredients on the label, but might not be good for you. So it's really sad that we have to go this route. Even a liter, not a liter, but like a half a liter of a Coke, right? Some people can actually can finish that in one sitting. So they're gonna, instead of making that 2 servings, they're making that to 1 serving now. So really be careful. That's why we have to take a lot of these practices into our own hands. Okay, because isn't it true? Like, we go out and we don't think about any of these things because we're trusting that, okay, if these restaurants are having caloric numbers on their menus, it means that they care about us. No, it still goes down to you. You control everything, okay? And it just takes a little bit of knowledge, right? Applied knowledge to make use of it. So that's why I'm here, okay? And when it comes to pre-portioning in containers, be mindful of what size you choose. Okay, don't choose the giant containers that you get from the restaurants. Choose the smaller ones, and the big pockets in the containers, don't fill that up with your starch. Okay, don't fill it up with your grains or your pasta or your rice. Fill that part up with the greens. Okay, we can't forget the plate method. That's 50%, or imagine a plate, 50% of it is greens, right, your healthy stuff. A quarter of it is your lean proteins, and then the last quarter are your complex carbs. All right, go with that method. I've seen a lot of great things just from that method alone, but keep that in mind too when you're portioning out your foods. Okay, so this is it. This is a conclusion of my 5 tips of portion control. And I've seen amazing things happen from just people eating less. Okay, I've seen someone lose 60 pounds just from cutting down the portion sizes, just from eating half of what they normally eat. Okay, so It's very simple. Is it going to be hard? Probably. Okay. Anything worth it is always going to be hard in the beginning, and you're going to suck at it. Okay. You're going to have a lot of resistance, and a lot of resistance is going to be in here. But remember, that's where success comes. Okay. So we're making these small shifts, and I'm providing you these tips from my book so you can take those small steps that it will eventually lead to a bigger gain. Okay. One of my favorite quotes from Robert Schuller is, yard by yard is hard, but inch by inch is a cinch. Okay, so don't expect to see a miracle in your health within a short amount of time. It takes a little bit of that discipline, a little bit of that practice, applied practice, right? Every single day, that's gonna give you the goal that you want. And be easy on yourself, be patient. Because how long has it taken you to get you where you are right now? I'm sure it took you a long time, right? So be patient with yourself as you're making these adjustments. And the last thing I want to do is I really want to congratulate you for taking that step. So I want to offer you a free transformation session with me where we're going to hop on a call. You're going to talk with me. We're going to talk, and we're going to find out, what are your goals? Because I'm sure you have some great ones. What are your goals? What are you doing? What adjustments can we make? And what's holding you back? Okay, because I don't want my information to be just some other thing that you find on a piece of paper and then you might toss it in the trash. These are proven steps I've seen help people, and it can help you too, and you deserve it. Okay, stop being so hard on yourself. Let's take that next step. So book a call with me, and I hope to speak to you soon, okay? Congratulations again, and let's make this happen. Let's make this next year the best year you've ever been. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.